Do we have Gift George ready?
Absolutely electrifying right here at the Worcester. The fans have turned out in their numbers to cheer the Super Eagles. Hopefully, they can join Senegal for the final at the 35th edition of the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations. These fans believe the Super Eagles have what it takes to beat the Moroccan side. And of course, they are ready to stay into the wee hours of the night. Hopefully, the Super Eagles can make them very, very happy to get the final ticket to play Senegal in the final. But it's a daunting task, no doubt about it. The Moroccans have the advantage of playing at home. Apart from that, the Moroccans are unbeaten in 16 years. 35 matches at home, they have not lost any match. They have won 30 and they have drawn 5. So it's a daunting, impossible task. It looks like a very, very scary record that the Moroccans bring into this match. But it's not absolutely impossible. The Super Falcons right there in Morocco got the victory in the final at the at the Women Africa Cup of Nations. The Super Falcons actually won the Africa Cup of Nations. So if the women can do it, also the Super Eagles can do it to get past the Moroccans. But it's a very, very daunting task. And I have some of the fans right here that actually believe that the Super Eagles of Nigeria has what it takes to get past the Moroccans. It's a very, very difficult match, but the belief this one is going to be very, very possible. Well, we talk about the Moroccan record, unbeaten in 16 years, but a lot of fans believe that that record is because they've not met the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And the Super Eagles of Nigeria have scored 14 goals so far. It means they have a goal in there. Ademola Lookman, Victor Osimhen, African Player of the Year. Also, the Moroccans have Hakimi, who is also an African Player of the Year. So two sides with African Player of the Year going toe-to-toe. So it's a difficult one for both sides. It's 50-50. 11 times they've met. The Moroccans have won 6 times, and of course the Nigerian side have won 5 times. So it's a balanced game, 50-50. I have Femi Adetola here. Of course, he's getting a fever pitch already, but Femi Adetola, how do you see this one panning out?
Well, you can see how it is on the screen, and it's going to be a good game, and very tactical game is going to be. The records are there, to be broken. The Moroccans have their record, Nigerians as well have their record, and as it is this evening, I'm a Nigerian, the blood flows in me, and I'm saying tonight that Nigeria is going to carry the day.
Absolutely, he believes Nigeria can carry the day. But like I said initially, both sides have African Player of the Year in their sides. Nigeria has Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman. Of course, Morocco has the current African Player of the Year, Achraf Hakimi. How do you think that's going to play a key role? Who is going to win this one?
Well, it's going to be a technical game because these are experienced players with much, to play for. They are playing for pride. They're playing for pride, and they are playing for their country. And as it is now, and what we are looking for is the African diadem, which is the African trophy. So as it is this evening, let me tell you that Nigeria will win tonight.
Of course, the fans are absolutely optimistic that Nigeria has what it takes to get past Morocco to meet Senegal in the final of the 35th edition of the Africa Cup of Nations. Everything is possible. The Super Falcons have done it, and the Super Eagles also have to do it. Back to you in the studio.
Many thanks, Gift George. Indeed, Nigerians are optimistic, and we hope that the Super Eagles will indeed gift us so many goals tonight. Thank you once again. I am tensed right here in the studio, even if I'm not watching the match. The tension is palpable in Nigeria and Morocco as both countries slug it out at the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations. It's another night of expectation with Nigerian fans proudly flying the flag with pride, both at home and abroad. Let's now join Olumide Guntala at the National Stadium, Surulere, Lagos, where fans are cheering the Super Eagles to victory. Olumide, give us a sense of what is happening there at the moment.
John, thank you for joining us in Lagos. I am in one of the viewing centers at the National Stadium in Surulere, Lagos. And of course, we have sports-loving Nigerians right here cheering the Super Eagles to victory. And of course, the prayers of these football-loving Nigerians is to ensure that the Super Eagles of Nigeria fly past their Moroccan counterparts, even right there in their own front, even with their vociferous fans. they want to win. And of course, I have some football-loving Nigerians here. Friday is here with me. Friday, Anelka is here with me. He's going to talk to me for the mere fact that we have different sports-loving Nigerians here from different backgrounds. So what can you say about the unifying factor of football?
Oh, well, just as we have been following up, is a pleasant night once again to be here. And we have sport-loving Nigerians all over here at the National Stadium supporting the Super Eagles at the ongoing semi-final, second semi-final for the day. And we're expecting the Eagles to come out winners.
All right, so what are your expectations from this match? The match is already on.
Yeah, looking at the match, the Super Eagles will surely come through. And I'm expecting at least a 3-1 scoreline tonight.
All right, like a patriotic Nigeria Friday is region. I must tell you that this is the 6th time these two countries are meeting, and of course of the 5 previous encounters, the Moroccans have actually won 3 times, while the Super Eagles of Nigeria actually won twice. This night is going to be another fantastic show for Super Eagles. If they could be able to fly past the Moroccans, it is just a matter of time. John, it's over to you.
Take out the if. Nigerians will fly past the Moroccan team tonight. We're going to definitely win this match. Many thanks, Olumide. Of course, we'll get more updates from our correspondents who are spread across the length and breadth of Nigeria, to feel the pulse of the fans as Nigeria plays Morocco in the ongoing AFCON. All right, let's shift from football a bit, just so we can ease the tension. Now, the federal government has commended transformative impact of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology on the global entrepreneurship and innovation ecosystem that has raised over $1.5 billion and created over 30,000 direct jobs in 20 years. Vice President Kashim Shettima made the remarks when he received a delegation from Cool Sharper Fundry Fellowship 2025 to 2026, led by MIT's Executive Director from the Cool Sharper Center for Prosperity and Entrepreneurship, Dana Sharif, on a courtesy visit at the presidential villa. Let's now join Abdurrahman Jibrila for an update.
A team of African entrepreneurs and innovators visiting the seat of power to close ranks in order to fully harness the continent's huge potentials, leveraging MIT's resource mobilization network and job creation opportunities.
Was it Albert Einstein who said, whatever I'm able to accomplish, it was by standing on the shoulders of giants?
Vice President Kashim Shettima called for unity of purpose among African professionals and entrepreneurs, emphasizing Africa is the new frontier and future belongs to the continent, but its people must unite to transform potentials into tangible results that impact lives and livelihoods.
I'm not afraid of tomorrow. With the right leadership that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is providing, I believe tomorrow has greater prospects for Nigeria. So I believe that Africa, the future belongs to us. And we have to unite as a people. Out of the 9 or 10 unicorns in Africa, 6 are in Nigeria. Let that fuse into one. What binds us together surpasses whatever that divides us. We are African. Whether we are from the Maghreb, or from Central Africa, or from West Africa, essentially, we are in the same boat.
The leader, Dina Sharif, said the team was in Nigeria in view of the Co-Sharper Foundry Fellowship Program, which, according to her, has helped to entrench the spirit of entrepreneurship across the continent.
Almost 20 years of the center's existence, we have created over 30,000 jobs across our programs, direct jobs across the world, and many more indirect jobs, but we have raised over $1.5 billion in funding. This particular fellowship of Foundry Fellows has over 55 fellows from across Africa who will now be working together to build entrepreneurship and innovation ecosystems across the continent.
Underscoring the significance of collaboration among African startups, noting that Nigeria is a leading country, as evidenced in the progress recorded by startups across the continent, with assurance of improved support for African-based startups from the center through its various initiatives. From the State House, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
Meanwhile, members of the Nigerian delegation have been commending the newly improved partnership between Nigeria and the United Arab Emirates, UAE, which has led to the just signed Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement between both countries. President Bola Tinubu, who led the Nigerian delegation to the 2026 Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week Summit, presented his country's position and progress on climate adaptation programs and policies sought partnership with countries and investors from across the world. Nigeria is also seeking to mobilize capital for projects ranging from sustainable agriculture and ecosystems to resilient cities, water, infrastructure, and clean energy. Members of the delegation believe this is possible through genuine partnerships.
We believe sustainable shared prosperity is possible, but it requires cooperation, it requires global partnership so that we can retool energy systems, we can encourage and generate more funds to support climate financing, which can help us with anything, anywhere from sustainable agriculture to sustainable ecosystem to sustainable cities and water and all other elements that are relevant to sustainability. Mr. President clearly laid out a vision of a Nigeria that is aligned with others in the global space to appreciate that we need sustainability in our systems.
Environment is the biggest issue that we are confronting generally, globally, and without the leadership that is given, would have been far behind. But in Africa now, for example, we are leading in terms of trying to mobilize green finance for doing green industrialization in Nigeria. We have done quite a lot in that area. We have done the issue of clean cooking, which he has mentioned, that we are trying to think that is there. That is, we are trying to avoid deforestation in Nigeria. At the same time, we are trying to improve the health of our people in Nigeria by trying to run away from the rural or the traditional cooking that we've been involved in.
Let's look away from the Abu Dhabi summit now and talk education. For 16 years, the 2009 agreement between the federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities was like a ghost that haunted the academic community due to a lack of implementation. But as of January 1st, a new document takes flight. The 2025 FGN-ASU agreement, which promises billions in research, a 40% pay bump, and a shield for university autonomy. Zenret Digmun has the rest of the story.
There have been several others like this. Different committees, different governments, but same grievances. And the question on every mind now is whether this is true transformation or just another temporal ceasefire. But the Ministry of Education assures that the 2025 agreement signed under the Renewed Hope mandate attempts to fix the structural decay as it targets not only issues of welfare, but tackling brain drain and funding for intensive research.
We confronted this two-decade quagmire squarely through sustained engagement, fiscal realism, and mutual respect. We have laid a durable foundation for industrial harmony in a federal tertiary education system.
This agreement carries a deeper significance. It represents a shared resolve to break with the past, to replace confrontation with collaboration, and to anchor engagement on trust rather than suspicion.
The agreement updates and consolidates the 2009 framework in line with current realities, improves salary and welfare provisions.
However, a shadow still hovers as ASU insists that systemic failure, university autonomy, and appointment of unqualified persons to lead academic councils must be looked into to avert internal crisis.
We are optimistic that the government will implement in totality this agreement. It is our belief that Dr. Tunji Alausa will be different, that our union will not need to issue a strike threat before any part of this agreement is implemented.
As a 3-year mandatory review cycle has been encapsulated into the law to ensure accountability across institutions and agencies concerned. Zenred Dingun, NT News.
And still talking education, the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELFund, says it has commenced a reconciliation exercise to resolve outstanding student upkeep payments amounting to 927.98 million naira, affecting 11,685 beneficiaries nationwide. The managing director of NELFund, Akintunde Sawyer, disclosed this in Abuja while providing an update on the performance of the student loan scheme. Olayinka Ojo reports that NELFund plans to expand its sensitization efforts beyond campuses to parents, guardians, and other stakeholders to deepen trust and awareness of the scheme at the grassroots level.
In a demonstration of concept turning to reality, stakeholders in the education sector say the student loan has transformed and is still transforming access to education financing, ensuring that no Nigerian student is denied education due to financial constraints.
The federal government have found a way of ensuring their focus remains on their book.
It has given hope, confidence to the citizens.
I've benefited from NELFund over, I think, since last year to this year.
Even though the initiative, described as a game changer in Nigeria's education landscape, is breaking down barriers to higher education, some challenges need to be addressed. One of such is the outstanding student upkeep payment discovered following a routine reconciliation conducted at the end of the 2024-2025 academic session. NELFund says the delay were not as a result of withheld funds or policy failures, but technical and operational challenges.
In line with the President's directive on accountability and efficiency in public service, management has approved a one-time focused reconciliation process to resolve all outstanding cases.
The reconciliation process will be conducted through direct engagement with the students, with prompt payment following once the verification process is completed. The fund's most recent data indicates that it has received more than 1.3 million applications, with 864,798 students benefiting from 263 public institutions. A total of 161.9 billion, comprising 89.94 billion naira, has been paid as institutional fees, while 72.03 billion naira has been disbursed to students as monthly upkeep allowances.
Some of the students are already calling and paying back.
NELFund says it is guided by the principles of fairness, transparency, efficiency, and accountability. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
Away from education, we'll take a dive into politics now as the Deputy Minority Leader in the Rivers State House of Assembly, Barile Nwaka, and the member representing Obiakwa constituency 2, Amelia Amadi, have stated their willingness to seek political solution to the ongoing impeachment moves against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and the Deputy Ngozi Odu, rather than an outright removal. The major decision known at a briefing in Port Harcourt. Nkiru Oyejesi has details.
Few days after the minority leader of the Rivers State House of Assembly appealed to other lawmakers to reconsider their stand on the impeachment proceedings initiated against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and the Deputy Governor, Professor Ngozi Odu. The Deputy Minority Leader, Barile Walker, has also urged her colleagues to consider an alternative approach to the matter through political means. She stressed that such move is not a sign of weakness but will go a long way in restoring peace in Rivers State, noting that the interests of the people should be of utmost importance.
We call on our members to also consider this approach. We do not say this as a sign of weakness, but because we have forgiving hearts and as mothers.
Similarly, member representing Obiakpo Constituency 2, Emilia Amadi, aligned with the Deputy Minority Leader. She, however, urged the Governor and his deputy to take steps to address the issue raised against them by the Rivers State House of Assembly.
I therefore speak to the conscience of the Governor of Rivers State and her deputy to retrace their steps and govern in line with the Constitution for the good and betterment of Rivers State.
From the look of things, indigents of the state can only hope and look forward to an end to the political crisis in the state. In Port Harcourt, Nkiru Onyejisi, NTA News.
In other news, President Bola Tinubu has reminded members of the Nigerian Armed Forces to remain loyal to the country's constitution and democracy. Represented at the 2026 Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day Gala and Award Night by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, the president assured that his administration will sustain and improve efforts to deal with the security situation in Nigeria. Salihu Abdullahi Gonara reports.
It is a night where honor was given to those who deserve it, having distinguished themselves in service, including those who laid their lives defending the territorial integrity of the Nigerian state.
As we celebrate excellence tonight, let us renew our collective resolve to continue building a more professional, united, and mission-ready armed forces that Nigerians can trust and be proud of. Let this evening remind us that service, honor, and duty remain the pillars of our national security and the foundation of our future.
As the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Tinubu, in a message, reassured that his administration will stand by all those paying the supreme price.
From the start, this administration made clear promises to Nigerians. We promised security will be our first duty, and the Renewed Hope agenda will be a plan of action, not just a slogan. Today, we can say with confidence that real and measurable progress is being made across all sectors in this country. Terrorists and criminal networks are under sustained pressure, while effective coordination among our services, regional and global partners is yielding the desired results. Our intelligence and operational reach are stronger, and progressively we are restoring safety and confidence across our nation. Let me state this clearly to you, my gallant troops. Your welfare is inseparable from our national security. We are committed to matching your sacrifice with real support. We're improving your equipment, strengthening your training, and upgrading your living conditions.
The Gala and Award Night is part of activities of the 2026 Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Week to encourage and foster national unity. From Banquet Hall of the Presidential Villa in Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
The song, All We Are Saying, Give Us a Goal, is also being rendered in Enugu, I hear. Susan Eze joins us from Independence Layout in the Coal City. Susan, what is happening?
Oh, thank you, Iare. Yes, I am here at our viewing center in the heart of Enugu, and I can tell you, everybody here is in soccer spirit. This viewing center, you can see, is packed to the full with men and women from diverse backgrounds. Football is indeed a binding force. They are all brought together for their love for soccer and love for their country, Nigeria. I can tell you for sure that the atmosphere is thick with tension. Of about 30 minutes into the game, the people are tensed, but at the same time optimistic. I have with me here one of the fans who will share with us his thoughts about this game. He is Kene Okenwa. Kene, as a coach, a football lover, you speak and talk football. So tell us, how do you see our team performing all the way to semi-finals? Are you optimistic tonight?
Yeah, very, very optimistic. We have the best team, and I believe we can do very well. You know, in the past games we've played, Nigeria delivered very well. They give us good football, and tonight they are giving us good football.
Okay, so predict the end of the game. Do you see us rejoicing at the end of tonight?
Yeah, very well, very hopeful. We'll have everything it takes to be the winner. So we hope with the squad we have on ground, we'll be able to deliver the match. I know it will be very difficult because so far the Moroccan teams, they are matching up to Nigerian teams very well. But I know confidently that if things go the way we're looking at it now, we'll come out well. We'll come out very well, very well.
Okay, thank you. I share your optimism.
Yes. We're very hopeful. We're very hopeful.
Thank you. So you can see his eyes are also on the ball. He's not concentrating because the tension is high. But by and by, we are all optimistic. I hope you are too.
Suzanne, indeed, my eyes are on the ball, even if I'm reading the script right here in the studio. Of course, looking forward to the Super Eagles flying very high tonight. Thank you once again, Susan. By the way, from the way you're dressed, you're ready to jubilate much later when the Super Eagles indeed bring home victory. Thank you so much. Now time to pause. Many thanks for staying with us. Now the trial of the 5 alleged terrorists who purportedly killed some worshippers at St. Francis Catholic Church, Owo, in Ondo State, has continued before the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja, with 2 additional prosecution witnesses testifying against the defendants. The defendants are facing 6 counts charge bordering on alleged terrorism. Dila Tumbi of our Judiciary Desk reports that the defendants are being prosecuted by the federal government through the DSS.
The 5 defendants in the alleged terrorism trial are Idris Omeiza, Al-Kazim Idris, Jamiu Abdulmalik, Abdul Alim Idris, and Momo Abubakar. They are facing 6-count charge on the alleged involvement in what has been described as murder in the cathedral, which was perpetrated on June 5, 2022 in Owo. At the resumed hearing of the matter, the 2 prosecution witnesses, who are couple, gave details of what transpired on the day in question. In his evidence, the husband said after the incident, he was forced to wade through corpses of young people in the church hall while trying to locate his son who was missing. The wife gave details of how a dynamite thrown into the church hall shattered her legs and destroyed her left eye. Led in evidence by the prosecution counsel, Ayodeji Adedipe SAN, the 5th prosecution witness said he was in the church on that day with his mother, his wife, and 3 children. The couple told the court how the alleged terrorists used explosives in addition to their guns. On where he was when the assailant entered the church, the witness said he was in the church and hiding under the pew. He said he could see the attackers where he was, but could not see their faces clearly. On how many the attackers were, the witness said he saw 3 inside the church and 1 outside who was shooting through the window. The 4th prosecution witness told the court that she spent about 5 months in the hospital as a result of the multiple injuries she sustained during the terror attack. Thereafter, the witness was moved to the middle of the courtroom where she showed the judicial officer a damaged eye and legs. The witness said she had been on a wheelchair since the incident. Justice Emeka Nwete has adjourned further hearing in the case till February 10 and 11, 2026. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, peace and normalcy returned to Jabo community in Tambuwal local government area of Sokoto State. 3 weeks after residents were awakened by loud explosions linked to a joint operation conducted by the United States and Nigerian military, targeting terrorist enclaves in the Tangaza axis. Although the incident momentarily disrupted calm in the area, socio-economic activities have since picked up, a clear sign of the community's resilience and speedy recovery from the military action. Abdullahi Umar Ilalu reports.
Abu, a farming community in Tambuwal local government area of Sokoto State, was on the night of Christmas Day gripped by panic and confusion following a loud explosion linked to the joint United States of America and Nigerian airstrikes targeting terrorist enclaves in the Tangaza axis. Most interestingly, calm has since returned to Jabo, with socio-economic activities picking up without disruption. The crew's visit to the community coincided with the village's bustling weekly market day, where traders were conducting their business, a clear indication that fear has given way to reassurance. Residents say the absence of any casualty during the incident assisted immensely in easing tension.
The situation of Jabo town is actually very fantastic, I can say. We are doing our business normally. We don't have any problem.
The school activities and school and business activities, everything is normal.
We are in normal conditions. There's no problem.
Farmers were also sighted heading to their farmland, some riding camels, a familiar sight that underscores the community's resilience and determination to sustain livelihoods despite the initial fear. The quick return of daily life in Jabo reflects a community that, though momentarily shaken, remains steadfast. And with enhanced security awareness and continued reassurance from authorities, residents appear resolved to move forward, hopeful that peace will continue to prevail in the area. In Sokoto, Abdullah Omar Ilalu, NTA News.
Let's turn our attention to other issues now, as Dangote Refinery says its cutting-edge technology will enhance the downstream sector and create new expansion opportunities. The management of Dangote Refinery emphasized this as they introduced the new Chief Executive Officer of the Dangote Refinery to the media while outlining their future goals. Larry Bile is up to speed with that.
The new Australian Chief Executive Officer of Dangote Refinery, David Bird, has taken the helm of West Africa's largest refinery. His work is already well defined. Speaking with the media, he emphasized his primary goal: driving stability in the nation's energy sector. This includes ensuring sustained price stability at the pump, particularly during festive seasons, while recognizing crude oil price as the key driver for refineries' operations.
So now we're really in a period of stabilization. What I'm incredibly proud of, sort of in the second half of 2025, whilst we are still ramping up capacity of our conversion units and our downstream units, we were still able to deliver 50 million litres a day more, frankly, than 52 million litres on some occasions. And we've done that because Dangote Refinery is not just a traditional refinery. What we're blessed with is the foresight of Alaji Aliko Dangote to invest in the infrastructure.
The new CEO stated that over 50 million litres of fuel, translating to over 1,000 trucks, are moving through the gate and gantry daily.
In fact, we designed only on daytime loading, and we're already doing nighttime loading, so it's a 24-hour operation. So we have been easily able to achieve over 1,000 trucks of offtake.
Nigeria's downstream sector is entering a promising phase, with Dangote Refinery poised to leverage shifting geopolitical dynamics, expanding propane and polypropylene production that could drive multi-billion-dollar investments and boost the industry. In Lagos, Larry Bilei, NTA News.
We told you football is a national passion. Well, Kano is not left out tonight. Mohammed Ibrahim Saliu is covering the fan zone in Nasarawa GRA Kano. Ibrahim, how are the fans feeling about the game?
All right, we are here in one of the viewing centers in Kano, Nasarawa local government area of Kano State. the Super Eagles fans here, it is very electrifying. The Super Eagles fans are very optimistic that the match is going to go in favor of Nigeria. Although the match is still goalless, but the fans here are really optimistic, and we hope Nigeria are going to do something and break the deadlock.
All right, many thanks, Mohammed. Can you speak with one of the fans, what they think, or maybe let me know what you think the scoreline will be at the end of the game?
I can't hear you.
All right. Many thanks, Mohammed. I think we'll leave it at that. Let's just keep watching and praying. But of course, the Super Eagles will definitely win this match. Thank you. Now, let's move on to other issues away from football. Now, the Minister of Works, David Umahi, has ordered an aggressive nationwide road intervention program beginning in 2026, declaring that no section of the country's federal roads will be left unattended. The minister disclosed this during an inspection tour of the ongoing rehabilitation work on the Abuja-Kaduna-Kano Expressway project, stressing that 2026 would be an action year. Umahi announced that every 10-kilometer stretch of federal road construction must henceforth display signboards at the front and back, clearly identifying the Federal Ministry of Works and bearing the photograph of President Tinubu. According to the minister, the directive is aimed at ensuring Nigerians are fully aware of the scale of federal road interventions across the country. He said most times people do not know who is doing the work because of the volume of projects spread across the nation. Nigerians must know and appreciate the work being carried out by President Tinubu, whether on federal roads, township roads, or within states.
That is the not true by December. Contractor will push you and will push you very badly, so that this road, this celebrated road, this good thought of Mr. President, this Asuwaju that can do all things through God and strong mercy, will be a success story by December 2026.
Inspection tour is aimed at fast-tracking the timely completion of all ongoing federal roads across the country. The federal government has reassured citizens of renewed vigor in ensuring provision of security to enhance a good learning environment. The Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, reaffirmed this while receiving members of the National Parent Teachers Association of Nigeria at the Ship House in Abuja. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello reports.
Towards the end of last year, the federal government announced the closing of 47 unity schools due to cases of abductions, with a view to re-strategize and enhance the security architecture in the affected state. A couple of weeks after, the 47 unity schools earlier shut down due to security concerns were reopened after an unwavering commitment to safeguarding students and ensuring the continuity of education. This gathering, therefore, is not only to chart a new course for a dynamic approach to be deployed to safeguarding schools and the Nigerian territory, but to laud the efforts of the armed forces for their contributions to the fight against insecurity.
The innovation you have made of creating safe school program in the year 2024, while you were the Chief of Defense Staff, that singular innovation has gladdened the heart of parents and encouraged us to send our children to schools.
For the Minister of Defense, parents and teachers are the twin pillars of a child's development. As parents nurture values at home, teachers cultivate knowledge and skills in the classroom, forming the foundation upon which the nation's future is built.
It strengthens my resolve to continue working for policies and initiatives that improve the quality of teaching and learning, provide safe and inclusive environment for our children, empower teachers with resources and training, and foster stronger collaboration between schools, parents, and communities, which is very critical.
And remind us that the work of defending our nation is a collective responsibility, and that education and security must always go hand in hand.
While the Ministry of Defense will continue to uphold the values of service, integrity, and excellence, it is committed to working with all key players to secure the nation. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Elsewhere, the absence of proper scientific validation, standardized dosage, clinical trials, safety testing, and regulatory approval have continued to limit the acceptance of herbal products as modern medicines, despite Nigeria's rich traditional medical heritage. Professor of Clinical Pharmacy at Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State, Professor Bola Olayiwola raised these concerns while delivering the institution's 411th inaugural lecture. Femi Afariogun completes the report.
In a thought-provoking lecture at Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Professor Bola Olayiwola, a renowned clinical pharmacy expert, sounded a wake-up call for Nigeria to harness its rich medicinal flora. He lamented that despite Nigeria's vast botanical resources, the absence of proper regulatory approval, scientific validation, and investment continues to limit the acceptance of herbal products as modern medicine. The professor emphasized the need for stronger collaboration among universities, research institutions, traditional medicine practitioners, and the pharmaceutical industry to unlock the potential of Nigeria's medicinal plants.
A case where people hoard information is not healthy for our system. That's why I was able to acknowledge General Alani Akinade for bringing insulin plants into our attention, and people have been using it, relieving them of side effects of anti-diabetic drugs.
Vice Chancellor of Obafemi Awolowo University, Professor Adebayo Bamire, reaffirmed the university's commitment to research that addresses societal needs, while guests at the inaugural lecture also called for sustained policy support to bridge the gap between the traditional knowledge and modern drug development.
Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
Just to let you know that the Nigeria-Morocco match is at halftime. The scoreline is still 0-0, just so that you can pray harder. We'll pause for a break. More news shortly. Glad to have you back. AFCON fans' experience has now got into River State. Emmanuel Lene joins us now from Port Harcourt. It seems that the impeachment matters have taken a backseat tonight for the Super Eagles. Emmanuel, what's the feel in Port Harcourt tonight? All right, looks like we'll join Emmanuel much later, of course. Now let's see other news as the steady growth and maturation of Nigeria's telecommunications market have brought renewed scrutiny to issues of pricing, service quality and competitive balance. To address these issues, the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, has convened a review meeting to discuss the comprehensive study on competition within the industry. Adejoke Odeka reports.
This stakeholder session is...
With the dawn of the new year, the vision of the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, for the development of the telecommunications sector in Nigeria continues unabated, and in recognition of the significant changes that have occurred over the past decade, the Commission has reintroduced a study on the level of competition in the industry, which was last conducted in 2013.
On increasing competition, it is not just, again, the entrance of new players into the sector. One, we're having entrance of new players into the sector, but there are also new and more innovative business models coming into the sector.
Experts say the current trend signals competition in voice and data market segment, network quality and digital offerings, making a comprehensive market review critical.
The Commission wants to remain committed to our mandate of ensuring a level playing field for all players in the telecoms market. We'll be able to understand the current market as it is, using evidence-based investigations and findings. We will look at these findings and ensure that the market remains competitive.
The forum featured a breakout session including operators, infrastructure providers, consumer groups, and others aimed at strengthening regulatory oversight, promote fair competition, and protect consumers, highlighting the importance of continued collaboration among industry participants. In Lagos, Adejoke Odeka, NTA News.
Now, time to talk business. Benny Adams is here. Benny, I know that you're a businessman, but what's your prediction? Nigeria-Morocco tonight.
Well, it's a tough one. As you know, Nigeria, we're always ahead. And now talking business. Ahead of implementation of the Nigeria-UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement signed in Abu Dhabi, the business community has begun counting gains of the partnership as experts harp on the need for reciprocity and balance of trade.
Nigerian exporters will have over 7,000 product lines from agricultural products to pharmaceuticals that will enter the UAE market duty-free.
Now, for Abu Dhabi, that has been able to now develop its economy into what you can call world class. Now, their goods and services will be very globally competitive and acceptable. Now, are we able to also now reciprocate in the same manner? Our goods and services, and mostly this will come from the agricultural subsector because that's where I think we'll have comparative advantage over them. And then if we're not able to now meet their own standards into what it is we are also going to be taking to them, it might not be very balanced. But I think what's important is a good opening. Kudos must be given to government, for what it is I've done thus far.
Well, from that monumental deal talking about the Nigeria and the UAE agreement being signed, let's look at other news in the United States of America where consumer prices increased in December, lifted by higher cost for rent as well as food after a government shutdown had artificially lowered inflation in November in the last 12 months through December 2025. The consumer price index actually advanced at 2.7%, matching November's gain. President Donald Trump said the December inflation figures supported his push for Fed Chair Jerome Powell to cut interest rates. Meanwhile, the Trump administration has opened a criminal investigation into Powell, which the Fed chief called a pretext to influence rates. Now, this has implication on the Nigerian economy. This is as Nigeria is sensitive to the U.S. economic shifts due to its reliance on the U.S. dollar for oil exports and imports, as well as its need for foreign investment. From an expert point of view, if the Federal Reserve leaves rates unchanged as expected this month and eventually cuts them later this year, the US dollar usually weakens. A weaker dollar generally provides relief for the naira, making imports slightly cheaper and reducing the pressure on Nigeria's foreign reserves. And on the flip side, the criminal investigation into Jerome Powell creates political risks. If investors lose confidence in U.S. institutional stability, they may flee the dollar, which could lead to wild fluctuations in global currency markets, making it harder for the Central Bank of Nigeria to manage the naira's value. And looking at foreign portfolio investment, it is also a fact that the U.S. interest rates act like a magnet for the global capital market. If the Fed keeps rates high to fight the food and rent inflation mentioned, investors are less likely to bring money to emerging markets like Nigeria. But if the pressure continues and there is a cut in the rate, it means higher yields for Nigeria, which is about 27%, becoming much more attractive for foreign investors. Now, a quick look at the markets. At this time, Nigerian stock market actually closed today. The markets in Nigeria, in South Africa, as well as Namibia are telling a story of early year optimism tempered by institutional shifts and global political jitters. Talking about the bullish, it's been a bullish run in Nigeria as the NGX is currently the star of the region, continuing a historic rally that began in early 2025 with the 106 trillion mark today. The all-share index gained another 0.56%, closing at approximately 166,771 points. While the Nigerian market is sprinting, the Johannesburg stock market is experiencing some turbulence as it saw a marginal dip of 0.09% today, while the Namibian Stock Exchange is currently the quietest of the three, reflecting a cautious post-holiday return to business, dipping slightly by 0.22% today. Well, that is it on business at this time. Anyway, you can take it from here.
Well, thanks, Bendy, for the update. Now, a strategic collaboration between the Nigerian Police Force and Securities and Exchange Commission marks a pivotal step in protecting investors in Nigeria. The Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission paid a strategic visit to the Inspector General of Police Francis Form reports that the visit aims to forge a stronger lines against financial predators who exploit unsuspecting Nigerians through Ponzi schemes, cryptocurrency scams, and other fraudulent investment schemes.
Here to forge an alliance against a common enemy, the sophisticated, predatory, and heartless criminals.
It is the first courtesy visit to the force headquarters in 2026 by the Securities and Exchange Commission. And here, the SEC DG emphasized the urgent need for collaboration. He outlined a vision for a robust institutionalized collaboration anchored on 3 pillars: Joint Intelligence and Operations Task Force, combining the SEC's market intelligence with the Nigeria Police Force's power to track and apprehend criminals. Capacity building and knowledge transfer, training officers in the intricacies of capital markets, Ponzi schemes, and cryptocurrency frauds, among others.
And that pledge is that the combination of the Nigerian police and the SEC will certainly deter every scammer, every thief, every criminal, everyone that does not mean well for the Nigerian investor. Because here we come, building a market that will indeed drive the development of our economy.
What you said speaks so much to your determination to ensure effective drives in the capital market. And when we're able to achieve effective enforcement, it comes with so much benefits. The benefits are numerous. It will increase investor confidence. It will stabilize the market. I want to assure you that the Nigerian Police Force is ready to deepen its collaboration with you. We will strengthen our partnership and support you in all ways we can to ensure that you achieve your aims.
The meeting also spotlighted collaboration with the Cybercrime Directorate of the Force, with the SEC seeking MOU to rapidly respond to emerging digital financial crimes. The IGP granted immediate approval, acknowledging the unit as one of the best cybercrime centers globally. Francis Form, NTA News.
Many thanks, Francis. We head to Port Harcourt, where I told you earlier that impeachment matters are resting tonight, and that's because the Super Eagles are playing against the Moroccan team. Now, let's hear Emmanuel Lene, how the residents of Port Harcourt are feeling tonight and what they feel about the match.
Well, here in Port Harcourt, everybody's optimistic. Although they are watching keenly, but they have a strong belief in this team that they are going to deliver, going by the record-breaking performances they have done since the start of this AFCON. So they are very, very optimistic that they are watching keenly, despite the fact that the first half has ended in a goalless draw. They are still sure that the Super Eagles will still do us proud. I have one of the fans here, supporters here, and he wants to tell us how far this match has grown. Can you tell us so far? What's your take on the match so far?
Yes, I'm John by name. I thank NTA for what they are doing. I know that any team that is playing against the hosting country, it is not so easy. I'm a Man U fan. I play in Eagles Man Feeder team. When I play against Charles, home team, I'm playing against the referee, the fans, and the last man. So I'm about to tell the Rivers people and Nigeria that it's not easy for Nigeria, but Nigeria will win this match. Why I'm saying so, Nigeria is playing very well. What about the yellow card? It's not yellow card because the player hold him on his jersey before he falls. Let them watch it very well.
Okay, so what is your expectation in this second half?
This second half, Nigeria is winning the match because Nigeria is playing very well.
So what is your score? Can you predict the scoreline for this
Nigeria
match?
is winning this match 2-1.
2-1?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That is the expectations of the people here, and we are optimistic that by the end of this second half, Nigeria, the Super Eagles, will do Nigeria proud. Thank you very much, sir.
Well, thanks, Emmanuel. Lena, so many prophets tonight. At the end of the game, of course, we'll get to know the fake and the real prophets, of course. Let's pause now. News Extra continues. Thank you for remaining tuned. Nigerians are enjoying another dip in food inflation linked to agricultural produce. This time around, it's tomato taking the hit, with prices dropping by around 70% throughout the country. Musa Babaliyu reports that farmers are far from pleased with this sudden shift.
Tomatoes are fresh, juicy fruit and a key ingredient in many meals. In most local dishes, fresh tomatoes or tomato paste help make the food taste better. That is why there is high demand for them across the country, especially in cities. This year, the country has solved the usual shortage and high prices that happen every year. Many farmers grew large amounts of tomatoes, hoping prices would go up. Now, there is too much supply, even though demand is steady, causing market glut. In the Maraba market in Nasarawa State, a bag of tomatoes weighing over 70 kilograms sells for less than 6,000 naira compared to 40,000 naira in October and November 2025. Buyers are happy about this, but suppliers, especially middlemen, are not.
Before it's 30, 40 or 50. But now it's 13, 10, 11, 14, grade by grade. Like during December, we bought 25, 22, 23.
This farmer told me he bought a basket for 2,500 naira at the farm, spent 6,000 naira to transport each basket to market, but pound prices had dropped to less than 10,000 naira. Reports across the country, including Lagos, Port Harcourt, Maiduguri and Kano, are all showing an oversupply of tomatoes and crashing prices. Most markets in the country don't have cold storage for perishable items like tomatoes. So in the next 2 days, most of these tomatoes will spoil or rot. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
In a renewed effort to promote self-reliance and economic empowerment, the Sardana Memorial Foundation has commenced a one-week life skills development training for Jigawa indigents. This is part of activities marking enduring legacies of the late Northern Premier, Sir Ahmadu Bello, the Sardana of Sokoto. Muhammad Musa Askira reports.
The one-week life skills development training organized by the Sardana Memorial Foundation has officially opened in Jigawa State, targeting youths and women across the state. The program is part of activities designed to commemorate the life, leadership ideals and legacies of the late Sir Ahmadu Bello, the Sardana of Sokoto, whose vision emphasized sacrifice, dedication to national unity and sustainable development. Organizers say the training is aimed at reviving noble ideals, self-development, patriotism and economic productivity. The initiative also aligns with the Jigawa State Government's 12-point development agenda under Governor Umar Namadi, which places strong emphasis on skills acquisition as a strategy to combat unemployment, reduce poverty and stimulate local economic growth. On his part, the Director General of the Sardana Memorial Foundation, Abubakar Gambo Umar, explained that the training is a joint initiative between the Jigawa State Government and the foundation organized in honor of the late Northern leader.
The state government has rolled out several targeted programs that include use with market-relevant skills, promote entrepreneurship, create sustainable livelihoods.
This kind of training is aimed at equipping the young men and women, and indeed, even elders of northern Nigeria towards those values.
The Sardana Memorial Foundation says it remains committed to preserving the ideals of Sir Ahmad Bello through programs to uplift lives and foster national unity and development. In Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
Meanwhile, communities living around the Kainji Lake in Borgu and Agwara local government areas of Niger State have been given 2 months to vacate to allow security operatives to engage suspected terrorists hibernating in the vicinity. The state governor, Muhammad Umar Obago, stated this during a condolence visit to the emir of Borgu, Muhammad Haliru Danturu Kituru IV, over recent terrorist attacks in the emirate. Husseina Musa reports.
Visit to Borgu Emirate by Niger State Governor Muhammad Umar Bago is to sympathize with the emir and people, as well as take measures to curb activities of terrorists in the area. The resettlement of people living around the Kainji Lake to safer areas in Borgu Emirate is part of new measures.
It's a wake-up call to the Emirate Council of Borgu Emirate and the entire Emirate Council around here, not to allow these people to come back here and settle. They must get the details of where they are coming from, why they have left where they have left, and why they are here before they can, and they have to work with the security agencies to understand the identity of those people. We've realized that we have a lot of hamlets and scattered communities within the Kainji Lake. Now it's a call on all these communities to leave the Kainji Lake and come out and be resettled by the Emirate Council in a place where they become big towns. When this is done, we are going to be able to flush and clear that forest.
And I want to assure you that our various community members will be more than willing to cooperate.
Stakeholders appreciated the governor and reassured him of the Emirates' support towards enhancing security of lives and livelihoods. Emena Husseina Musa, NTA News.
Now, President Bola Tinubu celebrates Dr. Maria Mahmoud Bunkure, the Minister of State, Federal Capital Territory, on her birthday. The president describes Dr. Maria as a dedicated public servant who has worked harmoniously with the Minister of FCT to engender the landmark transformation witnessed in the territory in the last 2 years. The president praised that the coming years will bring renewed strength, wisdom, and good health for the FCT Minister of State. Another break is glad to have you with us. President Ahmed Tinubu extends condolences to the Nigerian Union of Journalists and family of Yakubu Muhammad, a veteran journalist and co-founder of News Watch magazine, who passed on Monday. President Tinubu affirms that Muhammad's career in journalism, spanning over 50 years, was devoted to nation building, placing his life on the line to tell the truth to power. The president described Muhammad as a personal friend with strong belief that the publication of his memoirs, Beyond Expectations, in November 2025 provides an opportunity for soul-searching and deep reflection on leadership in Nigeria and the role of journalists. Similarly, the Nigerian Guild of Editors mourns the loss of Yakubu Muhammad and Dan Agbese, two legendary journalists and co-founders of News Watch magazine. These iconic figures were respected voices in Nigerian media, known for their professional approach to journalism. Muhammad and Agbese inspired many with their commitment to press freedom, democratic values, and investigative journalism. Their contributions to nation building and the media industry are immeasurable, leaving behind a legacy that will be remembered for generations. The NGE urges journalists to reflect on their cardinal principles, which are truth, accuracy, fairness, objectivity, and integrity. All right, now the dry season, also called Harmattan, was expected to begin in December 2025, but instead we experienced unusually high temperatures. Then in January 2026, the weather suddenly changed. Let's find out what the weather would look like tomorrow.